You really thought being nice was the way out, didn't you? You walked through this world giving your best, believing your kindness would change things. You held on to the idea that if you poured your heart out, if you gave more, if you allowed them to step over you just a little longer, they would finally see your worth. Bravo. No, really, bravo. Because that's the dream they sold you. That's the fairy tale they planted in your mind. That's the illusion you let yourself believe. But now, it's time to wake up. That kindness you gave, it wasn't seen as strength. It wasn't admired. It wasn't respected. No, to them, it was nothing more than weakness. A game they could play, a tool they could use, a test, one that they failed. And here's the truth you don't want to accept. The world is full of takers, leeches, parasites. They'll drink your kindness like a glass of water on a scorching day, and when they're done, when there's nothing left, they'll toss you aside like an empty cup. You thought they saw you? No, my friend. They saw through you. They saw how easy it was to manipulate you. They saw how much you were willing to give, how much you were willing to suffer just to be valued. And they took advantage of that. And why? Because you let them. You convinced yourself that if you kept being good, if you kept showing love, eventually it would come back to you. That's what they told you, right? Do good and good things will happen. Lies, all of it. Kindness in this world is a test, and you handed it out like a prize on a silver platter. Did they respect it? Did they treasure it? Did they reciprocate it? Number. They used it. They used you. And when they were done, they tossed you away, just like they've done to everyone else who fell for their game. That's what people do. That's what they've always done. You gave them your time, your trust, your soul. And what did they give you in return? Nothing. Not a damn thing. You see, your mistake wasn't kindness. It wasn't generosity. Your mistake was believing that people would appreciate what you gave them. But this world doesn't reward kindness. It eats the kind alive. And listen carefully to what I'm about to say. They didn't just fail you. They chose to fail you. Every lie, every betrayal, every broken promise, they knew exactly what they were doing. They saw your goodness as an opportunity. They played you. They took what they wanted. And when they had no use for you anymore, they walked away without a second thought. And you? You thought you were the hero in your own story, didn't you? But you weren't. You were just a side character in theirs. And guess what? They were the villains all along. People say nice guys finish last. You want to know why? Because the race was rigged from the start. The moment you stepped up with your pure heart, your open hands, your willingness to care, you became their prey. People like them, they can smell kindness. They can sense a giving heart, and they know exactly how to take advantage of it. They were never your friends. They were never your people. They were predators. And you were just the bait. But listen to me carefully, because this isn't a speech about bitterness. This isn't about hate. This isn't about regret. This is about transformation, because what you went through, it wasn't a mistake. It wasn't just bad luck. It was a lesson, a test. And the only question that matters now is, what are you going to do with it? Are you going to keep playing the victim, keep letting them trample over you, keep making the same mistake, thinking that this time it will be different? Or are you going to show them what happens when the kind become cruel? Are you going to show them that you have a limit, a breaking point? Are you going to show them that the world isn't built for the soft-hearted, that only those who demand respect will ever get it? Because that, my friend, is how you take back your power. You were born in a world of liars, cheats, and thieves, and you thought being good, being kind would save you. It won't. It never does. Respect is not given. It is taken. Power is not handed to you. It is seized. And kindness? Kindness is for after you've already won. Stop playing their game. Stop being the sacrificial lamb. Stop being the easy target. Start being the wolf. Because here's something no one ever tells you about kindness. It's the last thing you show the world after they've learned to fear you. You thought they would change, didn't you? You thought if you just loved them harder, if you just gave them one more chance, if you just proved yourself enough, they'd finally wake up and see what they lost. You were waiting for them to see you. But let me ask you this. Why do you keep expecting change from people who thrive on chaos? Why would they change? They don't have to. You let them stay exactly as they are. You let them walk all over you because you wanted to believe people are good deep down, that everyone has a little light inside them. How cute. But guess what? This world doesn't run on light. It runs on darkness. And the sooner you understand that, the sooner you'll stop getting hurt. No one tells you this, but let me say it now. You are not responsible for fixing people. You are not the cure for their poison. You are not here to bleed yourself dry for people who will never see your worth. And that's the saddest part, isn't it? You've been killing yourself for people who wouldn't even lift a finger to help you. So why are you still waiting for them to change? They failed your test. And they'll fail it again and again and again. Because that's who they are. They don't care. They never did. Your kindness was nothing but a tool to them, a way to make their lives easier. And you thought you were saving them. From what? Themselves? You can't save someone who doesn't want to be saved. You can't pull someone out of hell if they want to stay there. You threw yourself into the fire and all it did was burn you. And here's the worst part. They watched. They laughed. They enjoyed every second of your suffering. And you kept crawling back, thinking maybe, just maybe, this time it would be different. But it never is. Because they don't change. They don't have to. And now, it's time for you to do something different. It's time for you to stop being nice. It's time for you to stop being soft. It's time for you to become something they fear. You've spent your whole life trying to be the hero, trying to be the good one, trying to be the light in other people's darkness. But heroes get used. Heroes get broken. Heroes get left behind. Villains survive. Villains thrive. Because villains don't care about being liked. They don't bend over backwards to please people who don't deserve it. They take what they want and make no apologies for it. And that's what you need to learn. Because the moment you stop caring about what they think, that's the moment you win. So tell me, what's it going to be? Are you going to keep playing their game? Or are you finally ready to break free? Because once the kind stop being kind, once the giving stop giving, once the weak become strong, that's when the world finally learns to respect you. And when that happens, they won't just regret failing you, they'll fear losing you.